Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For all the returning subscribers, thank you so much for watching, and for all the new subscribers, please make sure to click the subscribe button. So you know guys, it's about that time. It is time for a story time. I know. The last time I did a story time is when I was talking about the enhancement pill, and the one before that was the story time that you guys seemingly liked a lot. I didn't know you guys like story time so much, but now that I know, I have obviously centered my content around delivering quality stories for you guys. So today is that day. I'm gonna be telling you guys a very funny story. I actually wasn't sure if I wanted to tell the story, only because again, I don't have beef with anyone within the story. I'm still good friends with most of the people that are mentioned in the story, and honestly, it's something that happened a couple of years ago. It was me and my friends. That's what they're talking about in the story. So okay, fine. I wasn't sure if I wanted to tell the story. I obviously discussed it with my significant other, like, dude, should I? And got the go ahead, so let's tell the story. It all started on a Saturday afternoon. No, actually, wait. Now this story, based off the caption alone, is something that happened about a year or two ago. It is with someone that you guys are familiar with. So I was young. I mean, I was like 23, I think, or 22. Like I was very young, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And then when I found out, it was a bit of a mess. But anyway, it all started when, you guys know that I used to date someone who was really prominent on social media, and them and all their friends are kind of like all prominent figures, whatever, and they were all, you know, cool looking, all forex trading and shit. So what happened is that normally when guys become friends, girls become friends with each other's girlfriends, and you build that relationship because you're always with your man's friends. So your man's friends bring their girlfriends, girlfriends become friends, and friends become best friends. You know what I mean? So in the story, there was a guy who was good friends with my guy at the time, and for story's sake, let's call him Jabu, right? So Jabu was best friends with my bae at the time, right? They were best friends, like best friends. What are we gonna call my bae? Jojo. Okay, fine. So I was dating Jojo, right? Jojo was best friends with Jabu, and it was Jojo, Jabu, Simon, you know, it was a whole little crew, but the best friends were Jojo and Jabu, right? Okay, so Jabu was dating a girl called Susan. Okay, so I obviously became friends with Susan because Jojo and Jabu used to go out together all the time, so they would invite their girlfriends, thus being me and Susan. And to be honest with you guys, me and Susan had a really like weird relationship. Like we got along. We're very strong characters, so we used to clash a lot about stupid things like makeup, and like we used to clash about the dumbest things ever. So, but I got along with her. Like I liked her. I don't know what the vibe was towards me, but I didn't pick it up until later that it wasn't that kind of party with me, because I can be very naive about people at times. So Jojo and Jabu were best friends since like a long time ago, like varsity time, right? And then they met Susan and I. So I obviously became friends with Susan because Jojo and Jabu were always together. So because Susan and I used to conflict from time to time, they would always spend time with us in like separate occasions. Separate occasions. So they would spend time with me, and Jabu would tell his girlfriend his whatever, and then my boyfriend Jojo would tell me, nah, I'm with Jabu and Susan. I'm like, alright, okay, cool, shop, enjoy, whatever. But Jojo and Jabu were silly little boys. So one day, on that particular hot day, Jojo tells me that, no, babe, Jabu and I, we're gonna go hang out in some popular place in the south. Okay? I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, I'm irritated because one, I don't even understand why he's going anywhere without me. It makes no sense. What more do you want? You know, I'm passing on my ketang like the only problem is that I hate being disrespected. So I didn't understand that particular day why Jojo went without me. But I think we kind of had like a falling out. We kind of had like an argument, I think about a day or two prior. Because Jojo was just acting funny, right? So Jabu is very mischievous. He's very, very mischievous. Like him and I, we get along like a house on fire, but he's very mischievous. He's like the guys, let's you know, let's try and break into the club, or let's do some shit that we shouldn't be doing. You understand? So that's Jabu. So whenever Jojo was around Jabu, I was never fully comfortable. I mean, I loved being around Jabu, but I was never comfortable when Jojo was with Jabu when I wasn't there. So the only problem was that I could never voice that out to Jojo and say, no, Jojo, you know what? I don't particularly like Jabu, and that's because Jabu and Jojo were friends for years. And who am I, Mafigizolo, to come and tell people they must break up their friendship of so many ever years and whatever. So on that particular Saturday, Jojo and Jabu and Yamal, sus forgot, and I was like, they go to that popular place in the south, go there, have a supposedly great afternoon. Then obviously Jojo tells me now I'm home, whatever, fine. About a day or two later, and that was, I think, following the weekend, if it was like, I think it was like midweek, whatever, Susan calls me and says, bruh. I'm like, what? And she's like, these motherfuckers is hoeing. I'm like, what? Owabi, never. I'm kind of magic. Who? My Jojo waka. Never. No. It's like, no, dude. Jojo apparently le Jabu. They were out having a good time. They were being boys. You know? Boys. Boys. So she tells me now, dude, I just heard this story from my friend Carol. Carol told Susan that her friend Angela told Carol, who told Susan, who told me. Now, let's start from the beginning. Susan calls me, says, nah, dude, listen, Carol called me, and Carol was talking to her other friend Angela, and Angela was telling her how she met some cool guy and whatever at this place in the south and whatever, and something's happening. Met these guys, and something's happening. And then after that, Angela tells Carol. Carol tells Susan, because Carol knows Susan's boyfriend, but doesn't know my boyfriend. And I'm just like, so Susan obviously takes the obligation, like she takes it upon herself to tell me. So now, bear in mind that this is one out of 15 million rumors that I've heard about Jojo, okay? Some rumors are true, some rumors is not. Guys, don't be out here playing us. We hire private investigators, we do all that stuff. Me, I don't sleep, guys. I don't sleep. I wait for him to sleep and I practice that pin code. I don't sleep. So trust me when I tell you, yay. That's when they told me, hi man, Jojo, xoxo. And I'm like, nah. Now I'm whining. Now I'm like, nah. Jojo, Paga, never. And I'm going friends. So you can, I get a text message. Or when they text me, where your phone just starts vibrating on its own accord, but the messages are all coming in, but it's zzz, 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 zzz. That was me. I'm going in. Yeah, why not Jojo? Yeah, why not Jojo? Why are people telling me this? Jojo's like, it's not true. And then I send it to Carol, and Carol's like, they lie. So we've all established that men are liars and men are trash. Because Jojo and Jabu correlated their little story to make each other their alibis, like we're on some sort of episode of CSI in New York or whatever. They came up with some sort of alibi about Totelana. And let me tell you something, disclaimer. Don't ever believe a boy's best friend. Don't do it. It's a lie. All of it is a lie. All of it is a lie. Like, don't even believe him. Don't believe his mom, his aunt, his family members. Don't even believe, like, don't believe his other uncle. Don't believe his kids. Don't even believe nothing. Just don't believe it. Just, it's a lie. So anyway, Jojo and Jabu decided they're going to Cleveland. But decided to correlate the story. By the time now I'm sending Jabu messages, I'm like, I could trust it, I could trust you. What did Jabu feel? I'm going off on Jabu right now. I'm going off on Jojo and Jabu. Now nobody knows where Jojo and Jabu is. Now we panicked, we angry, because we like, where are these niggas? And then they're busy sending messages like, nah, I don't want to see you, I'm not ready, you're gonna hit me. Anyway, before we jump to the good part, let's go to the back. So eventually, when Susan decides to tell me, no guys, there's a girl in the mix who's talking about Jojo, and there's another girl who's talking about Jabu. Alright. Me being me, I can't move forward until I get the facts. So I call their bluff. I'm like, there's an Angela, call her, I want to meet her. Me a Joe. A shy woman, so woman. It's my things, these things. I'm like, nah, call up Angela, I want to meet her. Carol's like, what? Are you going to hit her? I'm like, no guys, I don't go around hitting people for nothing. Hey, me now in the corner. That's the thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just gonna wake up and hit you just because he's telling me my man is up in your DMs telling you all the nice stuff that you want to hear and you're beautiful and stuff. No, dude, no. So eventually I meet up with Angela, and Angela breaks the story down, guys. That I get Jojo, and I'm just like, she even gives me the evidence. She lays down the receipts. And I'm just like, this is where I went. Because this is where I could see that no man, Jojo was so man. I know. You know your partner, dude. You know the way your partner speaks. You know the way your partner flirts. You know the way your partner acts. You know the way your partner sniffs. You know the way your partner scratches his bum. You know it. So I'm just like, nah, it don't make no damn sense. Alright. So Georgia's not answering, ne? So now it's me, Susan, Carol. I've picked up Susan and Carol by this time. We've met up with Angela. The four of us have had Jaeger bombs from now till the ends of infinity. So now the combos are no longer communicating. I mean, they were communicating, but they were not communicating. Now, we meet up with Angela, right? Angela lays down the whole story of Jojo and Jabu. And we're just like, damn it. You can't run away from the truth. It's the truth. When your man's a low down, dirty, whole bag ass, trash ass, punk ass nigga, it is what it is. You can't even defend him. You can't even defend him. All you can do is just sip that little Jaeger bomb, keep quiet, and smile through the tears, bruh. Okay. So I invite everyone back to my house because I was driving and there was booze. There was booze for girl chats. There was booze for tears. There was booze for everything. We all went back to my house. Did the good sis not sob? Sobbed. Ngasoba. But I think it was the Jaeger mostly. But everything else in between. Because you out here asking yourself questions like, this nigga, I'm the best thing that's ever happened to this nigga. Hey, what's about a guy who cheats? Doesn't even know how to spell cheating. Eventually we came down, like we drank and we all got super slizzard. We got so hurt. And then Susan decides, now fuck this. I'm airing out everybody's dirty laundry. Like, why did I get married to it? Just like, hey. I'm calling out everybody and I'm telling them what all the niggas have been doing. Now, if you focus on the beginning of the story, when it was just Jojo and Jabu, I told you guys that Jojo and Jabu had other friends. Other friends inclusive of Simon, I'm gonna call him Simon because Simon's on the top of my head. And who else can I add in the mix actually? No, let me just add Simon. So it was Jojo, Jabu, and Simon. Right? Jojo, Jabu, and Simon are nowhere to be found. Now luckily Simon was nowhere involved in the mess that happened earlier, right? But now Simon got involved because Susan decided that if I ban, we all ban. If I ban, we ban. So what did Susan do? She laid down the evidence of every single thing that every single nigga in the crew has been doing. Now that is some OG shit. And for that, I will always respect Susan. Whether we get along or not, that's when Ngambambi stand and I was like, you are that bitch. She went ahead, started telling us in Dabazet and whatever. Yeah, when are your men? Yeah. Susan, so initially in the house, it was me, Carol, and Susan. Susan decides to invite Lillian. Now, Lillian was dating Simon. But Simon was telling us about another girl. You remember that previous story time that I did? What did I call her in that story time? So guys, right? Susan decides to invite Lillian over. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. Y'all remember my last story time where I mentioned Gloria? Simon Simon was dating Gloria at the time. That's how I met Gloria. So anyway, Simon was dating Gloria, right? Remember when I told y'all that I'd met Gloria through another nigga and who she been kicking it with? And it was Simon. Then Simon met Lillian, and I happen to like Lillian a lot more because I met Lillian before I met Gloria. She had never met Gloria while Simon and Gloria were together. I only met Gloria towards the end, when all of this started like piping up, you know what I mean? So now everybody is conjured up at my house. It's me, it's Susan, it's Carol, it's Gloria, and it's Lillian. We're crying. We are bawling out our tears. We all just telling each other things of what Jabu and Simon and this did. And now, as funny as it is now, and as funny as it sounds now, it was so horrible. It was literally 4 hearts just breaking, guys. It felt like all our world was crumbling. And if I could take back that moment, I swear to God, guys, I would never want anyone to feel the pain that the 4 of us went through that day. Because as funny as it is now, it was so painful. It was so painful to come to the realization that there are things that have been done behind your back and you have no clue what's going on. And on top of that, it's niggas who have created this sacred blood gang wolf brothers bond. Yo gaga, just wanting to be cool boys. Oh God. Anyway, back to the important part. It was a painful memory that I have, but it was a good one because we wouldn't have been able to create that bond and get along had it not been for that moment bringing us together, even though now we are not where I thought we would be. So anyway, Gloria and Lillian had apparently been seeing the same guy. And then me and Susan, Jabu and Georgia were just being... Understand? Then, as we're sitting there wondering, where are these niggas and why are they not calling us, even though our phones are off and we sent them multiple gang messages telling them never to contact us again and we hope they die, we were wondering where they were. Like, we just found out that you niggas just did some shady ass whatever. Where are you guys? Come and comfort us. Then Susan is like, dude, I think they're at Jojo's house. And I'm like, I think you're right. And I'm like, no, what if they're at Jabu's house? You know, like we're having this discussion and she's like, dude, they're definitely at Jojo's house. And I'm like, dude, they are at Jabu's house. Eventually, she gives me a reason as to why they're there. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And she's like, dude, I say we go there and confront them. The first thing I said was, yeah. Yes, I'm going there. Yes, I'm there. Yes, I'm within. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We're going there to fight. Are we going there to chop some legs off? And she's like, no, but we definitely going there to confront some people. So now we're all within our fields and we all come across the senses. Carol was the only one who said, guys, I don't think this is a good idea. Lillian as well also piped in and said, I don't think this is a good idea. But Naledi, Susan and Gloria decided, no, so what did we do? We went to Jojo's house. I was driving. We all went. When we got there, yeah. So at the time, I had the key to Jojo's house, and I lied and I said I lost it, and I hid it in my car. So for the days where we had a fight and he thought, now I'm scot-free, I would just rock up, so I had the key and I didn't want to give it back, and I was like, I'm not giving this key back, never. So we open up, and now my car's loud. It booms like a tractor. So we open, and now we're driving in slowly. We're switching off the lights, guys. It's getting heated. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we drove in quietly, right? We drove in quietly, had the key, we snuck in, parked the car. Then we started analyzing as a team, like, how are we gonna get in this house? Because there is no way in, essentially. Unless you're like Spider-Man or Batman or like whatever. But there's no way in. And I was like, no, guys. Jojo has this little window that he likes to keep open. So I was like, no, I can try jump in the window and get in the house. And then we realized that I was a bit too big and my ass was too fat, and I just couldn't get it, okay? And then Susan was like, I'll get it, and we need a boost. So now imagine us doing this quietly in a little white ass complex, and we're busy trying to boost each other to get into the window, into Jojo's house, to catch them and whatever we thought they were doing. So first things first, we were right, they were there. There was a car there outside, which we could confirm that it was Jabu's, okay? And we're like, we're getting in here. They're here with girls. They are here with girls who are getting in Sangena. So eventually, Susan manages to get in. It becomes chaos because she opens the door and we all bust down and we're trying to find out who's here, and they're all just scared and they look like little lost puppies and they're trying to drag us out, and they're basically trying to keep us out the house. And we're like, no, why are you keeping us out the house? We want to know who's in the house. Now we're going crazy. It's a mess. Like, eventually it became this big hoo-ha. I don't even want to get into details about how bad the situation became and how like the chub people and ADT people got involved. Like, let's just say that like I just got dragged out that night. That's all I remember. Like, I went down fighting, guys. I was punching, I was chewing, I was biting, I was smacking. I don't even know how many people had to hold me back, but it was just, we had convinced ourselves that, you know what, we are entering Samangena. Well, a little after I entered, there were too many niggas and there were too many girls, and like, we are not stronger than them. So eventually they thought we were all crazy, and eventually we did leave. And you know what the funny thing was? On our drive back, we actually laughed about it. Like, we laughed about how maniac that was and how maniac we acted just to try and get like a resolution out of this. You know what I'm saying? So it was a mess, guys. It was a mess. All I'm just saying is Susan was over there on top of the couch. I was over there on top of the staircase. And I'm just gonna sit here and tell you guys that I do not want to be that version of myself ever again. But if a girl needs me and a girl calls me up at 2 AM on some mates, I need you. I'm wearing my sneakers, we going in. But essentially, that's I think the craziest story, that we actually broke into Jojo's house. It wasn't necessarily trespassing because we put his Kia, guys, I and men, but it was trespassing because he didn't know I was coming. And I was like, yes, today is the day. But essentially, it's something I look back on and I laugh at now, because I was so young. Like, to me, this was normal. It was normal. But it was normal, you know, to just like rock up at your partner's house, don't even be asking where he is. It should be normal, actually. I don't even know why we're supposed to ask as we are. But it taught me a really valuable lesson in all of it. I think we are so quick as females to act out of emotion, and whether it was true or not, there was a way that could have been handled differently. If I was where I am now and the same situation kind of transpired, I probably would have walked away rather than to try and get to the bottom of this and go, ha, yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, we were young, guys, we were naive, and most importantly, we were hopeless in love. Like, you know, when you love someone and you have felt like you've never loved someone the way you love this particular person, you act out of character so often. Like, I can't even describe to you guys how often I've acted out of character and how I seemingly can't remember those moments where I acted out of character. I'm glad I learned those lessons, because now I am better equipped for the man I am going to spend the rest of my life with. You know, I think about this a lot. I think about my future husband and the kind of traits I want to let go. And these story times are the types of traits I'm trying to let go of. But it's great that it happened. It's great that I got it out of my system. It's great that I realized what's my limit, how far can I push myself. But it is something I never want to go through ever again. Whoa, guys, that level of go for a nigga. Mark me absent, give me 0. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the story time. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys have any more story times you guys would like me to record for you guys, definitely let me know. Thank you so much again that we've reached the 10,000 subscriber mark. I hope that we are on the road to 20,000. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Please share with your friends. But until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.